Hey guys, so today's video we're going to talk about must-have resources for nursing school. So this includes apps, websites, and software that is just going to make your life way easier. All right, so let's get started. Okay, so the first one is called Pimonic, and Pimonic uses pictures and stories to help you remember certain concepts. This is super helpful with things like pharmacology. I don't have a subscription right now because I'm not in like a pharmacology course or anything like that. But when I do take my advanced pharm or advanced patho, I'm going to be getting Pimonic again. I used it all throughout undergrad. It's not very expensive. It's like a few dollars a month. But yes, so the pictures, they'll have stories that go along with the pictures to help you remember concepts. And it's just really, really helpful. So another cool thing about Pimonic is it will cover different courses. So you can see like fundamentals, different OB, pediatrics, pharmacology, and they have all of these different things listed under there. As you can see, pharmacology of nursing has 247 Pimonics, so there's a lot. I also used the books feature, so whatever books you have, in my program, we use the Potter and Perry. So it actually has all the different Pimonics, and it's really, really cool. And I believe when you get into it, it can be broken down by chapter too, which is really nice. So if you're in class and you're on chapter 13 or something, you can select chapter 13 and it will have all the Pimonics that go along with that chapter. So really like Pimonic. They also have a prep for the NCLEX. I would not use this only to prep for NCLEX. I think practice problems are the best way. So we'll go over what I think the best resource is. But if you keep getting a lot of questions wrong on a certain topic and you're just not grasping the details for that topic, it might be helpful. So like OB, if you're struggling with OB, it might be helpful to review the Pimonics for OB, but definitely don't only use this. As you can see, they have for the HESI or the ATI nursing exam once you're in nursing school. Some programs require you to pass the ATI or HESI for every class you take. So they have the Pimonics that go along with that too. So really cool, really fun. I love them. I'll use them again. So that's the first one. The second one is called Slides to Go. I love using these when I have to do like a presentation. I know undergrad nursing school, there's not a ton of presentations. You might have a couple. Grad school, there's usually quite a few. So yeah, they make really cool, cute templates. Like this one's super cute. Anyway, sorry, getting distracted. So yes, you can use these templates to just put together, a more like fun presentation for your class. I like it because white backgrounds with black writing, not always the most entertaining. So yeah, sounds very cute. So I use that in grad school for my presentations. Okay, so next one is called Converto. I love this website. So you can convert literally any type of file that you can imagine into another type of file. So if I take this like antidepressant PDF, say I have a PDF, right? And I want to print it out into something like this, right? Where I have like the slides with the lines. You can't do that with a PDF. It has to be in a PPT format, which is a PowerPoint format. So if my teachers post the slides as a PDF, I take notes on my iPad in Notability, so I like them set up like this so that I can then write next to it. But I guess if you print it, it's the same thing, right? So you have the lines for writing. So I'll go into Converto. I'll make the PDF. I want to make it into a PPT. Presentation, PPT. And then I'll just hit Convert. And it will convert it, and it always comes out awesome. They do a great job. So this is the one that I use for that. I've also been able to convert, different files. Like say you have a PowerPoint and you want it to be a PDF, you could do this. You could just print it to a PDF. There's other options, but typically what I use it for is to make the PDF into a PPT. So that one, there is that. All right, so next one is Google Scholar. Now, everyone says don't use Google to find scientific articles, which is true, but that's google.com. Google Scholar is a search engine for peer-reviewed scholarly journals. So the reason I prefer Google Scholar over things like PubMed or like my school's library search engine, I do use all of those. However, I just find that when I'm looking for articles, whatever algorithm Google Scholar uses, I find more articles focused on my search criteria. However, I will say that when you search Google Scholar, it will pull up the article from whatever website is, so like Journal of Medicine or something. That doesn't mean that you're going to have access to it. So once I find the article through Google Scholar, I then log into my school's website and type in that article title, and then I'll have access through my school's website. But to find the initial search, I just find that when I use PubMed or my school's library search engine, that I just don't find as many articles as Google Scholar. So if we're in Google Scholar and we're searching for something, let's see. So I just did a paper on inpatient psychiatry suicide. So let's just see. Okay, so it finds all these articles, right? So let's find kind of a recent one. Okay, so sure, this one looks great. Let's click this. All right, so Journal of Nervous and Mental Diseases. So now I have the article. So, but I don't have access to it, right? So I had to buy it. So the next thing I would do is I'd just take this title and then go to my school's website and type it in. I just find that I get way more accurate results when I use this. Another great feature is if you're here, you can see articles that cited this, journal articles that cited this article. So these might be ones, to search a little bit deeper, to see if you can find some more articles on your topic. You can also click these little quotation marks, and this is going to give you the APA style format or whatever you have to use for your paper. Probably undergrad, you're going to use probably MLA, depending on the class, but APA is what we'll use in grad school. You can also, if you use EndNote or BibTeX or RefMan or RefWorks, you can send it that way. However, I'm going to show you how I do it. Okay, so if I go back to this article that I like, so the next thing we're going to talk about is called Zotero. So Zotero is right here, and if I click it, these are all the articles that I've used this past semester. You can create folders on the side so that like when I go to inpatient self-harm, I have some of them there. I have the ones for this one here. I actually used more articles than this. I just didn't load them all in, but from now on I'm loading them all in because I think this is a great resource when you get done with your grad school, specifically where you're doing lots and lots of research. It'll be nice to have all the articles you used in one place. So what Zotero does is it houses the articles that you use pretty much, right? And then I can go in here and I can open up the full PDF. I have access to it. It's like printing them out and sticking them in a shelf. So we can house all of them here. Another thing is you can use Zotero to pull the references into Microsoft Word. I don't do that because I'll show you what I do, but that's also an option too. So how do we get articles in there? So back to our article. I like this one. I think it's great. I logged into my school. I have full access. We're at that point. I skimmed it. I'm like, yes, I think this is good. So if I come up to the top, Zotero has a plugin. So you can add your plugin to Chrome. So this Zotero plugin is right here. If I click it, it's taking this article and it's saving to, I don't want it in that one. Let's put it just in my library, and we'll put it in the inpatient self-harm, and we'll click done. So if I come back over here, it's right there. So it saved it. So that's perfect. So I don't need to download the PDF, save it to the background, put it in a folder, all those steps we just decreased. Okay, so making your life easy. That's what I want to do. Okay, so next thing, that's past Zotero. So next thing is Google Drive. Google Drive, I love. I have it on my computer and my iPad and my iPhone, so I have access to everything that's in there. I also use Google Drive on my desktop. So it's right here, backup and sync. So whenever I write a paper or do a PowerPoint or whatever, it actually saves to my Google Drive, so I can then access it wherever I am from whatever computer I'm on. And also, God forbid something happens to your laptop, you have a backup. Knock on wood. Please don't. Okay. All right. So I do that. So the next thing, this is, I would say, more for undergraduate students. This is called Quizlet. I'm sure a lot of you guys have heard about this, but something that's great with Quizlet is you can search for whatever you're studying. So like nursing, OB, and then you'll come up with all these different, like nursing OB finals. So that one looks good. Well, all right. So you'll have like flashcards, so these are all questions, right? And then when you click the card, it'll give you the answer on the back. So a lot of my friends in nursing school use this a lot more than me. I wasn't super into Quizlet. Like, it's okay, but a lot of my friends found it super helpful because they would just like put it on their phone and just be doing practice questions all the time. So that was really helpful. Okay, so next thing. So this is the NCLEX prep. If you are taking NCLEX, which you probably are if you're watching this video, UWorld. I have researched, before I took the NCLEX, I'm a little crazy person and I need to know like everything about everything. So I looked at all the nursing forums, all the Facebook groups, read through everything. UWorld is the best, okay? So the thing I love about UWorld is, let's see if I can show you. Okay. So one, it's set up just like NCLEX. Like if you're on your computer, it looks exactly like when you take the NCLEX. So if you're doing 75 questions a day, which is what I recommend because that's like a mini NCLEX. I mean, if you work a lot, obviously that might not be doable, but at least like once a week if you do the 75 questions just to get used to it. When you sit down to take the NCLEX, it's just going to be another day of taking your 75 questions. You will be super stressed, but it's okay. The other thing is the rationales, as you can see here, are amazing. You have pictures that explain what's going on. You have very detailed information. Some rationales on other programs give you like a sentence, maybe two. There's no pictures, and then you have to like go find other resources to better understand information, and that is not the case with UWorld. You have all the information there. The questions on the NCLEX are very similar to UWorld. This is the best. So yes, it is a little expensive. What I actually did is I bought the 180-day access, which does seem like a lot, I know. But there's two reasons, because I wanted to get the 2 self-assessments, so you're already spending this much. The other thing is I used this through MedSurg, especially MedSurg 2, because I feel like the questions that you get on your exams, they're not like straightforward. So getting used to these types of questions is great. Again, rationales are great. And you can create exams within UWorld. So you can go in and select like cardiac only questions if that's what you're covering in MedSurg, which was really, really helpful. So I would take like a mini MedSurg test before my MedSurg test. I love UWorld. I can't say enough. So yes, UWorld. It's great. Okay. So next thing. Oh, I just had this pulled up because I was going to show you guys the Zotero, but we already did that. Okay, So that is it for must-have apps for nursing school. I hope you guys found this helpful. Oh wait, I did have one more thing to show you. Okay, I just remembered. Going on a whim here. Okay, so the two other things I want to talk about are Grammarly and Perla. So again, we talked about Zotero earlier, and that one's here. If you want to use this one, you can. It's just, you can pretty much add in citations through Zotero. However, I don't because I like Perla, and I'll show you why in a second. Okay, so Perla and Grammarly. Let's do Grammarly first because that one is easier to explain. Okay, so I have my paper here that I wrote. So Grammarly is pretty much like it checks for grammar and spelling mistakes. So I think, so if we go here, like it will show you, like it thinks that it should say in multiple psychiatric units. So you can decide what you want to do. So yeah, it will just go through and it will make suggestions for the grammar and punctuation on your article, pretty much. I use the free version, so the free version doesn't allow me to see plagiarism. It also doesn't give me like all the features. There's more features. They'll give you like sentence suggestions and yeah, so there's like premium issues, right? So you can, if you really, really, really struggle with writing, it might be beneficial to go premium. Maybe if like you speak another language, is your primary language isn't English, it may help you. I mean, obviously my paper is not perfect. Like, look at all these things wrong, but we try, right? We're students. Nobody's perfect. So yes, you can go premium if you want. I don't. I just use it for the basic kind of grammar and suggestions. Because when you're writing papers, right, it's never perfect when you write it. It's tough to get everything set. So yes, there we go. Grammarly, love it. And if you just go on their website, you can download the plugin for Microsoft Word. I like it in my Word because I just click it and I can then fix it right from Microsoft Word. If you don't want to download the plugin for whatever reason, although I highly suggest it, you can go to Grammarly's website and they have, so you can add it to Chrome if you want, but if you log in, I'm not going to log in, but you can copy and paste or upload your paper and then it will make suggestions on the web. But then you got to like come back and change it in here and it's kind of a pain. So I would recommend using the plugin. All right. Next thing is Perla. If you are a graduate student, get Perla. If there's anything else I can recommend, Perla. Undergraduate, you don't really need it because you're not writing that many research papers. However, again, if you really struggle and you want to make your life easy, I think it's free for 30 days or 2 weeks or something like that. So you could use it for that one paper you're going to write undergrad. But if you're a graduate student, it's kind of funny because I did like a peer review thing for school and the person that I sent my paper to sent me a message and was like, how do you know APA so well? And I was like, girl, Perla. True story. Okay, so let's check it out. It's kind of confusing at first, but work with me here. All right, so let's exit out of Grammarly. Let's go to Perla. Okay, so we're going to create a new paper. So we can do either a research paper or discussion board. So if you're doing discussion boards online in grad school, you know you have to cite everything. So you can use this one. But let's just, I clicked the wrong thing. Okay, new paper, research paper. The title of our paper is going to just be, let's see, inpatient suicide. So we're talking about it. Okay. All right, so we're going to create the research paper. All right, so here we are. I mean, this looks kind of lame because, all right, so let me go over to Perla, title page. Okay, so if we go into our title page, we can change all of this here. So like this should be a capital. You'll have your full name, institution, course name. So let's just put like, I don't know, Perla School. All right, and then course name, nursing 1121, instructor, let's just say Dr. Smith. Okay, and the date, just so you guys can see what this looks like. All right, we're gonna add a running head, update title page. Okay, so as you can see, right, it plugs everything in. Then you can start typing your paper down here. So the thing that's also great about Perla is you can add in references and citations, you can add an abstract, you can add table of contents, you can add an appendix. You literally click this and it formats it correctly according to APA. So let's just start with like, all right, so just so I get some text in here. Okay, so let's say references and citations. So if you click it, right, so you can create a new citation, and so you can look it up by the DOI number, author, title, all of those things, right? So just to make this easy, I'm going to use one that I already have in here. So let's add this one. All right. Okay. So let's say I typed in the title of this paper and I typed in the title of this paper and it came up and I'm like, yes, this is my journal article. So everything's already plugged in for us, which is great. So we're going to go down and we're going to hit next. And we're going to hit next. So then we are going to add the citation to the paper. Create citation. Okay, so there's our citation right there because my cursor was there. So say this is our sentence we want to cite. Now it's in, right? And it's correct. And then if we come down to our reference is there. So you can do this for all your citations. You know, sometimes you have like 25, 30, just a ton of citations. And then they'll all be pulled up over on the side. And when you want to insert it in, you just click add citation. If you need to add a page number as a direct quote or something, you can change that all here. Let's add the page number to be 100, create citation. And then boom, pulls it in right there. So this is great. This is super, super amazing for grad school. So you need to add an abstract, you click it, add abstract, it pulls it right in here. So now you have your title page, your abstract, same with appendix. It will format it correctly for you. So, well, actually appendix, it just explains how to add the appendix. So you insert the page break, add the heading with appendix, and then start typing. It really saves so much time in formatting. It's really, really great. So highly recommend Perla. I'm not going to say that. All right, so that is it for the video. I hope you guys enjoyed. I hope you found this helpful. And yeah, make sure to subscribe below. We have more videos to help you guys in your nursing journey. Okay, bye.